Hey, friends, and a pleasant good evening. Welcome to Lions Live, the only network built by the players to the fans. My name's Skip Dreibelbis, along with Yaacov, Yisrael here, and I'm not sure if Big Dude will be with us tonight or not. A couple other fans going to be joining us here as well on the fastest hour of college football, built by the players to the fans. So, Penn State coming off a tough loss here. I mean, you've heard all types of commentary about it, folks. I was at the game. Yaacov was there as well. It's great to catch up with some of our friends and stuff, but it was a tough loss here, 28-16. Yaacov, I wonder if you had any thoughts here of what some things you noticed that Penn State maybe could have done better, or things that they did well, and we'll try to put it all together here for the final game this season.
Yeah, no, great to be on the show again. It was our senior week and last game at Beaver Stadium. We got off to a good start. Saquon had a nice long 56-yard run to start the game. It seemed like we had a little trouble at times with pressure on that quarterback. It seemed like he was able to kind of take his time and just kind of find the opening. A couple questionable calls, questionable penalties. Michigan, it seemed like every time we did something, they were barking right back. Like they just, they were right. They scored basically every quarter. They scored 7 points every single quarter. So they played a very consistent game. And it was good for us to kind of see where we're at. I felt like we played a lot of football. We felt like Ohio State was a test. We knew Northwestern was a test, but I don't think we all the way, respected Northwestern. But I think we respected Michigan, and we had it. We were there, but we still have some things that we have to iron out, and it's going to be tough because a lot of pressure is getting put on the offensive coordinator right now, and play calling and just the game plan, just the scheme. So it's just something we just kind of growing in a growing phase, and it's just something we got to learn from every week, and we didn't. We lost. It wasn't a blowout, but we lost. So it's just something we got to improve on. But Michigan State is they're looking good right now. So what's your thoughts on that, Skip?
Well, I was the one guy that predicted we lose, and I thought it'd be a lot closer game than what it was. But I kind of knew that, looking at the way Michigan played throughout the season in Penn State, that we just didn't have what it was going to take. And I, as Stefan always say, I try to keep it real, but that is the reality of it this year. We're still trying to come through this, and I think our guys have played the best they can. Nobody can ask anything more of any of the players at Penn State, and because they've gone all out every game. It's some games I think we've played better than normal, and this one here I think we weren't quite where we needed to be, and it wasn't the time for us to have that go that direction. And unfortunately, it wasn't a win for us. But they were pretty close to the same in rushing yards, because the teams are pretty well matched there. Passing, they beat us definitely for sure, because it's our guys up front. It's just hard to give Hackenberg some time. But I'm not even sure if that's the key to the game. I think the real key to the game was the running game, because that's where Michigan was the weakest, and I think that's where we didn't exploit the most. I noticed a lot of plays being run to the short side of the field, and Saquon, I think, is a type of guy you could spread it out with, because he does have the speed, and he's able to cut real well and make those cutbacks when needed. So, when they would run him, I noticed it came to the short side of the field a lot, and or they would just try to get him up the middle. And a guy like that, and a team against Michigan where they have big guys up front, you can't make it's hard to make, I can't say you can't, but it's hard to make a hole when you have big guys up front like that for a guy to just squirm through. I think you need to stretch it out a little bit. I don't think we did that. And, there's only one thing I quite a question towards the end myself was, when you get down to the 1 yard line, I think you have to try to go for it on fourth down. You're at the 1 yard line. You have a quarterback who's over, 6 foot. He's a big guy. You get your running backs behind him, and you just get him down low and get a wedge and force it through for a yard. I believe they could have done that. I'm not saying it necessarily could have completely changed the game, but I think picking up the 6 points there would have definitely been more helpful than just getting a 3. I know they played the averages, but I think when you're home like that, you have to, and at the 1 yard line, if you're, you got to show some confidence in your offensive line. And even if you give up the ball, you're giving them up at the 1 yard line or less, opportunity for a safety or a big play on defense. So just a couple things I noticed myself. But, it was a tough game. It was a tough loss. It was a great weekend, though. The weather couldn't have been better for a final home game at Penn State. The temperatures were tepid for us, and it was great to get out and see some of our former friends out there. So, I enjoyed the weekend being able to see some of the guys from my team that were there. And I met some guys who knew you as well. I was there getting our pass for the sidelines, and some guys were talking about you there. So it was good to hear them. It was good to hear them razz you a little bit, so that was cool.
Inside scoop.
I was nothing. Hey man, those guys love you. They think, they think very highly of you. And they definitely love what you're doing, being able to come in here and take the microphone over here. I'm probably one of the oldest generations out now from Penn State. There's still a few guys out there back from the 70s, not as many coming around, but here we are, mid-80s, and my 30-year reunion's coming up this year or next year. So
congratulations.
The years go by fast, buddy. You'll notice that. And having guys like yourself come in here to be able to take this project on of spreading the good news about Penn State football is awesome. And I know in the years to come, you guys are going to make it great. So I appreciate you doing that. But yeah, it was a tough loss. Since you can't really beat too much up on it. You learn from it.
Yeah.
I try to get a little bit of inside sight to even opposing teams. I know where the opposing team was staying here at State College, and I try to find out things like, oh, what are they eating? I find things like that out. It's kind of crazy and silly, but I like to try to find out that insight to are these guys carbing up? And sure enough, they were. How it is with they have the nutritionists and everybody, but they were giving them some ribeye steaks and pasta, and they're giving them everything they needed to be ready to play Penn State. And they ate well and came in here and they tore in us to pretty good. So, but it was kind of like that whenever we go somewhere too, they would have meals catered and put together. So I was just curious if they had anything special or not, and it's just nothing special for the opposing team, but it's just like anybody else where we go. The coaches and everybody have their nutritionists, and they make sure everybody's getting what they need to be at a maximum level for energy for Saturday. And I'm sure that's what Penn State's going to be doing now. It's probably a little lonely week, but it's not bad when you have a week off class that you can actually maybe catch a few more hours of Z's to get the body some rest. So I'm sure these guys here this week probably will come out again and definitely play their hearts, play with some heart. I can say that that's what Penn State's been doing. They're not ever laying down or giving up, or conceding. They're fighting to the end. And I think they're this week actually maybe a little bit of advantage with the holiday here, having that time to stay off your feet a little bit more during the week. So, Saturday could be a good game here, and really could be an opportunity if things go right. And how it could go on any given Saturday. Penn State could knock off the team that knocked off Ohio State, and could kind of reverse the tables here a little bit. So, great opportunity for Penn State this week to come for sure. So, any thoughts on, did you see any of the Michigan State game at all, or any of the highlights of that?
Yeah. I mean, Michigan State, I was very impressed. They shut down their best running back, Elliott, from Ohio State. He had 12 rushes for 33 yards. So that's pretty impressive. That was probably the number one thing that caught my eye. They just didn't allow him to get any he started to get frustrated. And it's interesting though, because Michigan State seems like they have a little way with Ohio State, because this isn't the first time that they beat them.
Right.
And it's just an interesting thing, because they go in there and play Ohio State like they're just anybody else. And they kind of work the clock towards the end and put themselves in position for a field goal. I mean, they were at the horseshoe in Ohio State, and the kicker came through with a big kick. So, I definitely got to respect Michigan State's game.
Wow. Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, they're looking good. They're looking good.
Well, they were, and I heard Dan, the fan there, just join us. Dan, thanks for joining us here tonight. We were giving a little bit of talk about the Michigan and Michigan State game last week here, and some things we noticed. And the interesting part about Michigan in the passing game, they about doubled Ohio State's passing game, and in a rushing game, their total yards was 203 yards to Ohio State's 86. It was still such a close game right till the end. So I think Michigan State definitely showed that they could do what they needed to get a win here. So pretty impressive, I can say. I mean, really impressive to shut down Ohio State like they did. So, Dan, what are some of your thoughts on the Penn State game from last week here? We just changed channels from that, but we'll get your take on it. You were there at the game, had your girlfriend with you, her birthday, right?
Wendy, yes. It was her birthday, yes.
Okay, yeah, big birthday weekend for her. Quite a gift for you to take her to the game, right?
Yes. Yes.
Dan, I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm 2 for 2 with you, Dan.
What's that?
I'm 2 for 2 with you.
Yes, Yaacov.
two times and 2 birthdays.
Great guy.
Hey, we got some good times there, Dan.
We did. Yep.
Yeah, I'll let you go ahead. I just wanted to throw that in there.
That's great.
Yeah, it was a good game. We wish could have really won, but it was a great time. Most people I've seen here in a while.
Yeah, it was a great turnout, wasn't it?
Yes.
Good weather, and couldn't have had better weather, because, I mean, we've had some nasty games at Penn State at the past this time of year. Weather can change quickly, and 1 minute, the sun's out, next minute we got 3-4 inches of snow. So it was great to be able to have some weather like we did Saturday. Very thankful.
Mm-hmm.
So on the offense or defensive side of the ball, Dan, as a fan, what were some things you noticed as far as the biggest differences between Michigan and Penn State?
It was a close game. It looked pretty close. I wish they would have done a little bit more, but did what we could do.
Well, where do you think Penn State, what disappointed you the most, apart from the loss?
Disappointed me the most is that we didn't get that win. That win there.
Okay. And let me ask you now, towards the end of the game, you remember there, we got down to the 1 yard line. And do you think we should have kicked it, or do you think we should have ran it?
I think we should have ran it.
Yeah. Yep. Yaacov, I forgot to ask you, what did you think about that?
You talk about the 4th and 1.
Yeah, at the 1.
Yeah, that was that brought back memories. Joe Pop, and I can remember going against Michigan on 4th and 1 on the goal line, and that was just something we always went for, But I was thinking about O'Brien as well. The short time he was here, I mean, he was going for 4th down, just inside the 50-yard line. So, I agree. I mean, we're at home. Let's get it. Let's get it jumping. Let's get some momentum. This is an opportunity. But at the same time, I understand Coach Franklin. He's seeing the bigger picture, and he felt that was the right call. But I I think he's adjusting himself to the Penn and the style of play. And I'm pretty sure he probably felt all the people talking about it. So I think he's going to learn from that, and I think if he gets in that situation again and he decides to go for it, I believe we'll be ready and we'll get it. So I just think it's just something he's just getting exposed to this Big Ten style. We've kind of been familiar with it for a while. So I think he'll adjust. It just he just did what he felt was right.
Sure.
So,
sure. Hey, I heard the phone there. Is that Eric or is that Stefan that chimed in?
Big dude chiming in.
Yeah, all right, buddy. Glad you can make it. Glad you can make it.
Oh, what
I'm waiting for this.
There you go.
Big dude. I met one of Penn State's recruits, Mike Manette. He was the offensive lineman from Reading area. Yeah, I was thinking about it because it would have been nice. He was at a tailgate, but it'd been nice to be with you and chance to talk with because he's really excited. Looking forward to it.
Right.
Hey, well, Stefan, I wanted to see your take on the game last week. What are some of your thoughts?
Well, quickly, we just didn't play a full football game, and we had some chances. We didn't come up with the plays, and I don't think it's because we're not good enough. Especially at home, we saw how well we played this year, and then we saw we could move the ball, and I just thought at a few critical times, we were able to hold up with protection. But at a few critical times, we weren't able to score. I think that we did talk offline about the decision to kick a field goal late, which I was a little perplexed by.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
I just think we keep on balling.
Yep.
Keep balling. We've gotten better, and I know that we did talk about Penn State being fortunate to win certain games and so forth. But at the more that we look at that top four, Skip, how many people are fortunate in that top four to win certain games?
Exactly. Exactly. That's for sure. And, and again, I mentioned this just right before he came on. This week is a great opportunity. I mentioned the guys not having a class, a little bit more time off their feet. I think if Penn State, gets ready for this game as well, I think it's going to be a great opportunity and to knock off a team that just knocked off the number one team in the country. And, a win against Michigan State would be exactly what Penn State needs to go into the bowl season, and as well as to that big boost in recruiting, especially out in the Michigan area. It's going to be a big boost to us if we can pull one out there in Michigan, the Michigan State. So a great opportunity here for us. But
absolutely,
like always, as you say, I keep it real, and I was disappointed because I wanted us to win, but I thought it would be actually a closer game than what it was. And and again, I think Yaacov was touching on a few things. We grew up in an era where if you get down to the 1 yard line, you're not kicking a field goal unless it's to win the game. You're gonna push it through. And I think Coach Franklin probably was playing the statistics. He's playing the numbers, like they did in the NFL. And but when you're at home like that at the 1 yard line, even with the amount of time left, if you wouldn't happen to have your big quarterback and two big running backs behind who come back in behind to help push them through, with your line can't get it. You're still giving the ball over at less than 1 yard to a team, and a lot of things can go wrong when a team's trying to get out of that type of a position. Because even for Michigan taking over ball at 1 yard line or less, it's extremely difficult to make sure you don't wind up with a safety or a fumble or something or an interception, because when you're down like that, oftentimes we would just do QB keepers just to get the ball out a few yards to open it up so we can get a running back out on another play or open up trying to open it up for a pass. So that was a tough one. But I think lessons learned. We move forward. I think we've seen different coaching styles. Coach O'Brien went for it on fourth down a lot of times that we normally wouldn't suspect Penn State to go, and we just see a different strategy, I think, involved. And a lot of guys have different philosophies behind the game. We're seeing what Coach Franklin's is coming from. I think it's kind of evolving. I think it changes probably from week to week or as the game goes. And I think that's a wise thing for him to try to do. So we stand behind him, going to encourage him, and look forward to this week here.
I think we basically he has said that as well. I didn't look at this week's press conference, but he did say it depends on how things go, the situation, especially on the 1 yard line. You got a quarterback the size of Hackenberg. Somehow you got to be able to do a quarterback wedge or something.
Oh yeah.
That's going to define you. It's going to be big play. You have the linemen, you have the guards, and we just haven't had this consistent play. The tough part is you have to go for it because you have to find out about your guys.
Right.
Maybe it's a different play, but you have to go for it.
Right. Well, you get them in tight splits, and you just you can work the snap count. Maybe you'll get a penalty or draw them off or something. Who knows? But whatever you have to do to catch them when they're not suspecting from snapping the ball. But I'm with you, Stefan. I mean, you got your center, and your guards and your quarterback, and you just form that wedge, and you get your running backs coming up behind you, just trying to help push you through. I know they say that's illegal, but guys do it all the time.
Absolutely.
They come up and they just say, "Hey, man, I was trying to block," but you see them pushing guys through all the time. So, but lessons learned. I mean, you remember when we went goal line, we'd see a stack of guys 6 foot high at practice. I mean, there'd be just a mound of people. And we practiced it a lot back in the day.
Right. I think even in the NFL, these guys are spreading people out. And I guess they're supposed to give you more options. Quarterback can run and do a number of other things. But I still think even then, you got the tight end, you got the guy going over the top. Well, you got the tight end coming across.
Right.
We got to find out about our tight ends. You got to get the ball to them.
Right. Well, we haven't seen Saquon or any of those other guys do any ups and overs. We had back in Penn State has that history of guys just, we get that big pile of guys 6 foot high and guys shooting up over top. You don't see that much anymore.
No.
But, that's the type of ball we grew up in, smash mouth, just pile the guys up and see who's the strongest. They had a little bit different mentality, different strategies today. Were there some things that you want to touch on about Michigan State and the Ohio State game?
Well, quickly when we start talking about Michigan State, as you said, Ohio State was able to get it done every other time. I still thought, as I said, they're switching their leaders at some point would catch up with them. I think J.T. Barrett might have only thrown for 89 yards or something.
Yeah.
So it was a different type of football game, and as I think I did say, I wasn't as impressed with their O-line. The O-line is strong, but not one of the best ones that we've seen. And I felt that actually we even played better against them and some other folks, even though our result was different.
I agree with you, Stephen. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree with you. I think we did play a better game even against Ohio State. By the way, Barrett only had 46 yards passing. 46. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, crazy.
That's hardly halfway.
Well, I mean, they just didn't have it together. I mean, it was something happened with Ohio State, but I agree. I think if we had played the game like we did against Ohio State against Michigan, we would have won. But any given Saturday, here's Ohio State very flat. I mean, rushing yards 86 yards to Michigan State's 203. Michigan State was up for that game. They wanted that win in the worst kind of a way, and they got it. And even right down to the end, that was so odd. There was such a disparity between passing and rushing yards between the teams, and here you have coming down to the end with just a field goal to win it with seconds left.
absolutely. And Michigan State has a tough football team. They have their outstanding players. And if they ever pull all the way together, I mean, they have a chance to be champions. We're able to do that. It may be a bit late, but we'll see. We'll see who loses this weekend in this rivalry weekend.
Well, now let me ask you this, Stephen. How's this going to play out? We had our picks here earlier in the year. Yaacov and Stefan, myself, and Dan. I don't know if you were with us, but we made some picks for the year, and I picked Alabama and Ohio State, and it seems like I got close to the end, but I missed mine out. Who did you pick, Stefan?
I think I had Alabama. I think I had Ohio State. I think I may have even picked Stanford.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Those were the three main ones. And I think I stuck with Ohio State, Alabama, Stanford. And I didn't pick Michigan State, I don't think. I think UCLA was one of the teams I thought would be up there.
Okay. Yaacov, who did you have?
I think I was with you, Skip. I think I had Ohio State and Alabama.
Yeah.
And I was just going to mention, just kind of talking about this Michigan State.
Sure.
This quarterback, Cook, Hackenberg is basically pulled up the record book at Penn State. But Cook is winningest quarterback in school history. He's got a 32-4 record as a starter, and then and that includes the 21-2 record in the Big Ten. And he's actually a finalist for the United Golden Arm Award. So that's a pretty impressive statistic. But I do feel, either way, I feel like we match up better against them than Ohio State. And I think Ohio State has a lot of talent, and I think we had trouble with that. But I think Michigan State, is a little more conservative, and I feel like it kind of fits a little better with our style of play. So, like you said earlier, Skip, I mean, this could be a big opportunity for us. This could be a big opportunity right there.
Oh, it definitely is. Hey, Dan, who were you thinking at the beginning of the year is gonna make the run for it?
I definitely thought Ohio State and probably Alabama.
Yeah. Now, how's this going to play out, or how could this play out if we wanted to guess some scenarios? Let's say Penn State does beat Michigan State. What are we going to do for the Big Ten?
Well, let's see. That would mess the championship game up. Let's see who would take that. Would that be Ohio State back in the championship game?
Well, it makes me wonder. If that brings Ohio State back, but you got Iowa. Somebody's got to play against Iowa.
Yeah, Iowa's in the other division, right?
Right. So they're going to come in on that other side. So what's going to come in on our side?
Well, I think Ohio State will be back into it.
Yeah,
if I'm reading it correctly, Ohio State beat Michigan, right?
Yeah,
didn't they play them yet?
They'd probably go to overall record, because even though Ohio State beat us, and then Michigan State beat Ohio State, but then Penn State beats Michigan State at the end of the season, Penn State wouldn't be able to do it, because they look at overall record, wins and losses. You're probably right. They go back to Ohio State on that one.
Yeah, man, that's the case. I mean, remember, Ohio State, people don't realize, just 3 weeks before actually everything happened last year, Ohio State was ranked 16th. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they're in the Final Four.
Right. Well, let me guess, was that Yaacov or was that Dan that came back?
Yeah, that was really fast. Sorry, I got cut off.
That's okay. I kind of figured, yeah, we had you dropped you there. Yeah, that's for sure. Well, what we were talking about here is the scenario, Yaacov, if Penn State would win, where we'd be at the Big Ten here with Iowa. Now, do you think Iowa could pull off a Big Ten championship?
I think they could.
Mm-hmm.
I think they got to deal with Ohio State and Michigan State. I don't know. I got to be more leaning towards Michigan
Michigan State and Ohio State.
Yeah, that's going to be the game, December 5th, for everybody to watch. It's on Fox, 8 o'clock kickoff. So primetime game for the Big Ten playoff there for that. So, yeah, it's been quite a season. It's gone fast. We make a commitment to come in here and try to talk Penn State football, and man, that's like it just started a few weeks ago, and here we are already coming up upon the last game of the year this year. But overall, as far as a summary goes, when you look back upon this year at Penn State, in my personal opinion, I think that Penn State's shown character, and they just showed some fortitude to just keep coming right at you. No matter what happens, no matter what the score is, no matter what the record is, these guys in this class here at Penn State, they're not the type. You've never seen Penn State once just kind of roll over and say, "Okay, you got us." And it says a lot about the guys. We had the Letterman come up here, the new class of Letterman coming in at Penn State for a lunch barbecue, and it's great to meet the seniors and talk to them a little bit, because it's the first time we really get a chance to talk to them, practices or anything like that. We don't talk to anybody, but it's kind of neat to be able to shake hands with these guys, welcome them to the family, and talk a little bit about how things were going with them and the way things have progressed with them, and they're ready to make these new transitions in their lives. So it's been quite a season already, and these guys here are seniors. Some of them may go for the NFL. I wish them all the best, but they're some are ready to prepare to move into the next stage in life to move into a career and use that Penn State degree.
Awesome. Now, I guess the question I have is, is any most intriguing person that you met at that barbecue lunch, or was anybody that has any interesting plans, or was there anything that surprised you about what people said they were doing on the last year? You were a little surprised that our tight end was leaving last year, Jesse Gaines, and I think you were wondering about Deion Barnes as well. Those guys seem to be holding up pretty good.
Yeah, they are. They are. This year, I think the thing that I noticed was just a real diversity of players in different backgrounds. I was somewhat impressed with the guys who were heading into the educational fields. Of course, you get your finance guys too. That's always a given. And my hat's off to the guys wanting to enter the education. It's very honorable because you aren't going to get rich doing that, but they obviously love kids and love to be able to want to give back and hopefully do some coaching as well. So it's kind of neat to see that. It was a good state college. My alum had a good contingency. I think there's 4 or 5 guys this year, seniors that came from my high school. So it was kind of neat to see that. But even some guys entering law enforcement. It's great to just kind of touch base with these different guys and encourage them along the way. And that's pretty much what we're there to do. So it's really neat. I just heard the phone ring there. Was that Eric joining us?
Yes, sir.
Eric, down and bringing up the southern contingency there, holding up the fort from all the way down from Virginia. You've heard us talk about it all this week already, Harold. We've touched about the Michigan game, the Michigan State playoffs. Or is there anything you wanted to comment on today?
If I had some static on the other end, then I missed the last part of what you said, brother.
Oh, okay. No, I was just asking if you had anything you wanted to comment on here from we kind of touched a lot of different topics. Penn State, Michigan State, Ohio State, how the Big Ten could wind up. We've touched a lot of different subjects. So do you have anything you wanted to comment on from anything from last week's game to Michigan State at all?
Oh, man, I'm kind of beat down on last week's game. Looking forward to maybe finishing the season strong, hopefully, in East Lansing, honestly.
What was the one thing that stood out in your mind from last week that the good, bad, and ugly?
Just the youth. We keep making youthful mistakes. I think we've been in every game we've lost this year. But, at the end of it, the youth plays a factor. And it's not in a good way yet. But, I think there's definitely some things that'll right themselves, with a little more experience and a little more cohesiveness between the young guys and the guys that have been there a year or so now.
Yeah, interesting. What was the one highlight of the game on the offensive defensive side that you take away?
Oh, offensively, I got the real highlight offensively was Godwin again. His catch and if we could get him the ball more, he's done a great job. We've gotten him the ball pretty often so far, but man, he catches the ball and he drags guys. He's done it time and again. He did it again last week, and I really think he needs to get that ball more often. Defensively, we missed massive. I thought Torrance Brown and Curtis Coughlin, I think they did a decent job filling in, and Evan Small. That's something to look forward to next year. Brandon Dell had a pretty good game. He's been lights out all season. I think he's kind of the unsung hero of that defense right now.
Okay. And when you think of Michigan State coming up here for us, you catch any of that? I'm sure you caught some of that game.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've been watching them all year. I think they match up well with them.
Yeah, it's kind of the consensus we're getting here. I mean, it could be the upset of the year. It'd be a great win for Penn State. Well, we're in the fastest hour of football here, and we're down to our last 20 minutes here for tonight, guys. So we have a little bit of time here to cover. Is there any topic or anything anybody wanted to touch on? It's outside of Penn State and Michigan State.
Well, I think one thing I want to touch on is just how it's been a tough year for a lot of coaches. It's probably the first year in my memory, in recent memory, where several coaches lost their coaching jobs during the season. A lot. Al Golden did. The coach from Maryland, coach from Missouri, he stepped down. And then you had a number of other folks that just like Steve Sarkisian, who actually was in a bad situation at USC. I would also say that some football programs are forced to make a difficult decision.
Right.
Probably after not doing enough to begin with. And of course you have folks like Al, he's trying to bring back integrity back to the U, but that wasn't good enough. So, it's hard to tell, as we talked about before, the priorities of major college football. I think they're a little screwed up.
Yeah, I think you're right, Stephen. It's the times have changed, and I can't necessarily say that people have their priorities where they should be. It's a different. Definitely became it's coming out. It's always been a business, all right. But I think it's just all out business now, and things have changed. I think from what I've noticed academically, things have radically changed, even here at Penn State. And I'm happy for the guys who are playing. I mean, they get more help and tutors than anybody could imagine back from when we were playing. It was great. We had the help we did. Joe made sure we had all the support we could get as well. But I think everything's been just improved upon so much academically. But, Penn State's always been a school that's emphasized, you're a student athlete. I mean, everybody knows most people are athletic students when they come here who play a sport. But, the emphasis was, that we're here for a period, and that period of time is to get through school and, get your degree. And if football is part of our future, that's great. And if it's not, you still have tools and skills and things you can use that you take from off the field that you'll be able to use with the academics later throughout your life.
Yeah, I think absolutely. And we need to continue to focus on that and look for the quality individuals in the recruiting process. And I think that's one of the things that Penn State, as you mentioned Kerrigan earlier, that Coach Franklin's done a good job of looking at the character of the players, what it is we need to get done, making difficult decisions. If you got to sit somebody that it's difficult to sit, and the performance of your duties, but it's the correct thing, that here. It's winning, but it's character. And I think it's proven we all play for Joe. I mean, you can do all those things. It depends on not just now who you are, but who you're going to be as a man.
You're right. It can work. It does work. But I think these other schools have kind of exposed themselves to what they're really all about, and it's not a pretty picture when you kind of open it up and you look inside and you see what's going on, especially down in Miami, because like you said, Al down there was really trying to turn that program around in the right direction, in the way he was raised and brought up through the system himself up here. But I don't know if that could ever happen with Miami because I don't think their heart's there.
Well, I think when you look at the alumni, they look at what they've done. You see, I'm not just looking at what was done. Being a part of the national championship team was special. I learned a lot of things and many things as a professional and as an adult and as a man. I kind of set the time by in an effort to prepare for something, to do something with excellence. But I can't go back to that all the time. It's got to be where we're going as a program. That's what our job now is letterman. Yeah, not where we were, but where are we going?
Right. That's right. That's right. Dan or Eric or Yaacov, you have anything you want to add to that at all?
I'll let you guys jump on that.
They leave it to us old guys, huh? Okay. Yeah. That's
it's going to be a lot of turnaround in the coaching world come the next few weeks. It's going to be interesting to see how it all shakes out,
Well, look at Virginia Tech too. I mean, there's a quality coach too there who's retiring. Who are they going to bring in? I mean, there's some job openings out there, and it's a tough search to find the right people. And you look at the NFL. There's some jobs out there churning as well quite a bit. In this year to come too. It seems like nobody's in anything for a long term or for the long haul.
No. The hot rumor last week was Bill O'Brien going to Maryland.
Oh my God!
I heard that one.
Yeah.
I heard about that.
No, he needs to stay in the NFL. I mean, listen, he did a good job for us. I think, to be honest, he was the right man for the right time.
He was.
I think he belongs every day in the NFL.
Yeah, he is, and he's a coach's coach in the NFL. I mean, he's a player's coach in the NFL, and he'd be a great guy to play for in the NFL. Awesome coach to play for. I think awesome coach to play for in college ball, and I think he kind of gave us a glimpse here at Penn State of I mean, he was here just that short amount of time, and look with a young freshman quarterback coming in like Hackenberg and what he was able to show Penn State fans that the potential of Penn State could become again. And it was great to be able to see that. I think he opened the can of worms, so to say. Now he kind of planted some seeds here for Coach Franklin to reap some of the benefits from, and Coach Franklin came in at the right time too. And I think he's going to continue to work hard. And I think he's a coach. I think everybody's growing in this business. You never stop learning. And I think it'll be great here for him in the years to come at Penn State. It's a different type of offense that we're kind of used to. And if you notice the differences even between an NFL style offense with Coach O'Brien, now you have a run and shoot type of offense coming in here with Coach Franklin. We've seen a lot of different changes come through Penn State here, and it's kind of neat to see how it's all going to come together here, and especially when the recruiting classes start to shape up, and some of these guys that Coach Franklin's been recruiting get out here in the field.
Yeah, I was just going to add on that. I definitely think Coach Franklin's doing a great job, and I'm excited. And I just look forward because he's in a new situation, a new league. He's pushing some type of personality that I'm not coached before, and I I think he's holding this shit together. It's just not falling, it's just not thinking. And I just think, we gotta continue to be patient. We are going to a bowl game. There's a lot of bright things. We're just, not at that level right now that we want to be or that we once were. But I think we're on our way. And I look forward to. I think the Big Ten's coming back. SEC has been a lot of talk. But, the Big Ten is starting to get, we got these coaches in there now. And, we might get another big coach in Maryland. So, it's looking good.
Absolutely. Well, since we're down our last 10 minutes here, I'd like to be able to go through our picks. And as we do that, I'd like everybody to first say what they're thankful for the most this year about this Penn State program. So we're going to kick it off here with some of our guests here. And we got Dan and Eric, and we'll cycle through here. But I want to hear what everybody's thankful for the most so far for this year with Penn State football. So Saturday here, we're winding out the last week of the Big Ten schedule, 12 o'clock kickoff, Indiana, Purdue. It's on the Big Ten Network. So let's kick it off here. Dan, the fan, who are you thinking on that one?
I'm picking Penn State.
You're picking who?
Penn State.
Indiana, Purdue, Dan.
Indiana.
Oh, Indiana. I'm sorry.
That's what it is.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll get to that pick. But so Indiana, Purdue.
Come on, man.
Who do you got, Dan?
That's all right, Dan.
All right.
It's all right.
He was just too soft. Don't worry about it.
Hey.
All right.
All right, Dan. Well, so who do you got? Indiana, Purdue.
Purdue.
Okay. Now tell me, what are you most thankful for this Penn State season?
I'm most thankful for this Penn State season is to see people and be surrounded by people that I love and become friends with and stuff like that, and a team that supports.
Okay, that's pretty cool. All right, Eric, it's your turn.
Indiana, Purdue. I'm going with Indiana. And I'm thankful for the stability right now. I think we've gotten over the hump. It might not be the prettiest this year, but I think if we stick with the process, I think we've got ourselves a little stability, and we're able to finally cleanly move on and move forward.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Hey, Yaacov, what are you thinking?
I'm going with Indiana as well. And, I would just say, I just appreciate the letterman. Obviously, Coach Franklin, I like his effort with keeping the letterman together. And, he's working like a maniac. I think we probably got one of the hardest working coaches. Obviously the Bears, they've been through a couple different systems. Basically 3 systems if you count Joe's and Brian's and Franklin. And, I think this actually was the last different class that Joe recruited. So this is a new era right now, moving forward. So, I'm just thankful to be a letterman that started the program, the radio show and all that. So I'm just looking forward to Penn State football.
Absolutely. All right, big dude. Stephen, what do you got? Indiana, Purdue.
Indiana. I would say I'm most thankful for the program, and kind of an echo where Eric was. Just our program going in, I think, an awesome direction. Again, nothing ever happens with perfection just yet, but us working toward it, us having leadership with integrity, and also commitment, and the ability also to get the most out of what he has right now. Because many people who didn't have a recruiting year, they had a great recruiting year, And many people want to get right back on top right away. But to have someone, as Eric said, work through the process and get to where we need to get to, doing little things every day. I'm thankful for that and thankful for just a bright future for Penn State football.
Awesome. Wow, you guys couldn't say it better than anybody else. Yeah, I'm picking Indiana too over Purdue, and I'm thankful for, it's easy to say for everything, but I'm thankful for God's grace, and I'm thankful for everybody who's been able to be a part of the Penn State program, past, present, and for the future. And I look forward to being able to see great things come here. And I'm thankful for everything this year. I mean, it's been great to be able to get out some practices with Yaacov, preseason, during the season like that. Being able to great to get back to some games whenever you're up here, Stefan. It's been an awesome year. I mean, tremendous blessings, man. I'm so thankful. I couldn't be more thankful about the opportunities, the friendships, everything that's come our way. I'm just really thankful for all surrounding Penn State football. So I'm just really thankful. I could keep going on and on, but we got some more picks. So another 12 o'clock kickoff, Maryland at Rutgers. So Dan, what are you thinking on that one?
I'm picking Maryland.
All right, Eric, who are you picking?
I'm going to go Maryland with that.
All right, Yaacov?
I'm going to go Maryland too.
Stefan, who are you thinking?
Well, me being a Jersey guy, got to stick with Rutgers.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with you on that one too, buddy. I think Rutgers are being at home for a game. I think it's going to be a close one. I think they could pull one out, so that's pretty cool. All right, well then, 12 o'clock kickoff, another 12 o'clock. This will be the game I think everybody's going to really wanting to be watching here. We got Ohio State and Michigan. That'll probably be the 12 o'clock game in the Big Ten, and everybody's going to look at ABC games. So, Dan, what are you thinking on that one?
I'm picking Michigan.
Really? Wow. Okay. All right. Eric, who are you thinking?
I think Ohio State bounces back and they take care of business. Going with the Buckeyes.
All right, Yaacov?
Yeah, I'm with you, Eric. I mean, I love Harbaugh, but well, I mean, it's going to be a close game, but I'm going to go with the Buckeyes. So I'm going to go with the Buckeyes. But Harbaugh is definitely on a mission. He's definitely trying to shut everybody up. But I'm going to go with the Buckeyes.
That's a great way to put it. Stefan, what are you thinking?
Well, I know I'm rooting for Michigan, but I believe the Buckeyes will win in a just great football game.
Yeah.
It'll be a great football game, which I think the Buckeyes will win through. Ezekiel Elliott will have to have his head together this week after all that other mess. He didn't help his team last week by all those other foolish things, tweeting and running his mouth about the coach and the play calling. I think they got him straight, and I think Ohio State is just good enough.
Sure. Yeah, I think Ohio State's going to play. I think they're going to wake from their slumber from last week, and I think they're going to give Michigan a good shaking up. I still don't think, no matter how bad they even beat Michigan, they still have the loss to Michigan State, so their national championships are pretty much dashed. Unless Penn's third. And here's the irony, but Ohio State actually has to root for Penn State to win. So that's a real irony for that one. So it's kind of cool. Have a Ohio State root for Penn State. So I love the irony in that one, but I think Ohio State's going to win that one. It will be. Oh, absolutely. It'll be a good game. But you're right about Ohio State. He is back. He's back with a vengeance to take Michigan where they want to be. So he's definitely there on a mission, but not enough to overcome Ohio State. And the 3:30 kickoff, we got Wisconsin and Minnesota. Dan, what are you thinking?
Wisconsin.
Okay. Eric?
I'm gonna take Minnesota on that one. Whoa! You got to explain that. Well, Minnesota, they've been playing tough, and Wisconsin couldn't do a thing against Northwestern last week. I think it's going to continue. So. Oh.
Okay. Yaacov, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I like that one, Eric. You know, I like that fight right there. You know, but yeah, I'm not ready to pull that trigger yet. I think I'm gonna go ahead and go with the team that is you know pretty consistent. But yeah, they did slide though. But I'm gonna go with Wisconsin.
Stefan?
Listen, Minnesota's been playing strong, 2-5, and I just don't see it. I always have to say the Badgers.
Yeah, with you on that one. All right, then 3:30 we have Northwestern and Illinois. Dan?
Northwestern.
Oh, there you go. Eric?
Northwestern all day.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody actually going to pick Illinois? I don't think so. And of course, we have the Penn State game here.
That is my brother-in-law. That's his alma mater, though. But I can't go with that. That's not enough to go for Illinois.
Okay. All right. Well, we got Penn State, Michigan State. Is anybody at all going to pick Penn State to win?
I mean, I think we don't have any choice. I think we got to.
Well, we got to win.
Yeah.
I mean, is anybody?
Yeah, I'm with it.
I think we got to. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this is a game we just gotta get. We gotta get it.
Yeah. But do you think?
You know, it's the end of the season. You know, everybody's got all their plays in. Everybody's got their teams and. You know, now it's just, all right, we just got to go out there and play. We just got to go out there and fight. And, you know, anything can happen. It's basically like a playoff game for us.
Oh, absolutely.
So, you know, I mean, we've seen the lower seeds win the championship before. You know, so, I mean, I think we gotta go for Penn State.
So you're picking Penn State over Michigan State by how much?
I haven't gotten that far yet.
Is it worth it? Hey, are we putting anything on this one?
I haven't gotten that far yet.
Are we going to put a sub on this one? I think I've the past couple games, guys, I've gotten right, so I think I've redeemed myself here a little bit on the pick.
But you're still always 2 subs. Don't try to get out.
That's right.
Okay, I got you. Anybody else going to?
Well, you only owe me half a sub because you took care of me at the barbecue spot on Atherton.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that. Okay.
Yeah, so only half a sub. Only half.
All right, that'll work. I still owe the big dude, man. I owe him a couple ones. He'll take one home with him. Is anybody else going to pick Penn State to beat Michigan State?
I think we're going to win ugly.
Really? You think so?
Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying. I think once everything comes together, we've had a few things, key injuries, and if we can play a decent offensive game, and I know we were talking about Godwin, but I still believe our wideouts are the best in the Big Ten in terms of depth. Nobody else in the Big Ten has that depth of wideouts that they have. And I think you're going to see that, and we just have to have a decent game up front. A decent game and be in the game going into the fourth quarter. Okay. Our kicking game has improved. We made some of the adjustments you suggested. And I think on the foot of our kicker, we beat Michigan State.
Okay.
And I'm going to say 30-27.
Wow. Okay. Okay. It may be only one sub I owe you, buddy.
Okay. We'll play for a sub. I'll put a sub on that.
Either way, you're still coming out going home with one, so you're still good.
Yeah, we're still far. We'll have to come up for a basketball game now.
There we go. That'd be great, man. That'll be great. And Dan and Eric, either of you guys got to pick Penn State?
I'm thinking Penn State by 7.
Oh,
Eric, what are you thinking?
I'll bet 2 subs.
Oh, gee.
Chipotle.
Oh, Dan. Okay.
like we said, Skip, not from sheets. Not from sheets. Don't give it. I like sheets, but don't. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, we'll go downtown for a good one.
There you go.
Oh, Dan, we're going to end up forcing him into bankruptcy on this one, though.
Yeah. I know how Yaacov eats.
I'll make up for it.
Oh, yeah. Not enough to take home with his wife.
Oh, wow. You right about that. You right about that.
Oh, there you go. Hey, Eric, what are you thinking?
I'm going on the intangibles. I think Michigan State played it all out on the field last week. I don't think Ohio State was that good to begin with, and I'm going with the Lions. I think the Lions put it all together this week.
Wow.
Going with the heart, man.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. You know what? I hope all of you are right. I really do. But and keeping it real, I just don't see it happening. You know, there's this curse with Michigan that we have. So when you started playing them guys, they've given us fits. And and what's happening here, I just don't see it. I'd like to, but I can't see it happening. But I'm not the. I don't. Yeah, you know, I don't mind. I hope I can buy everybody one, but I just don't see it happening this week, guys. I really don't. But I'm thankful for all of you, and I appreciate you guys all being with us, because it is the fastest hour of college football. It's more fun than I've ever had. Never dreamed about doing this stuff in my life at my time here, but I'm so thankful we could all get together and talk Penn State football, you know. So I'm really thankful for all of you taking the time out here throughout this whole season and tonight, even on the eve of Thanksgiving. You know, I trust that anybody who is traveling out there will be kept safe in their travels. You know, we live in a dangerous world out there. It's not just the highways, folks. It's a worldview out there, and things are changing radically, and we need to be looking out for one another. So you see anything strange or anything going on, man, please let people know. Be safe, because these vulnerable times here, we gotta cling to the things that are solid, rock solid, and look out for one another.
Hey, man, somebody grab this dude before he starts preaching, man. Grab him.
I better go on. Yeah, I better sign off. So, any parting comments for anybody before we wind up until next week? Any Dan, final comment? Try to keep it within 10 seconds. 10-second comment from everybody here, and we'll wrap it up.
Well, I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Glad to meet you guys, and look forward to blue and white already. You too, Eric, brother. And you know, first person I seen up there last week was Skip, and Skip's been a good friend of mine for the past couple of years, so I'm thankful for that. So
that's cool. Eric, parting comment?
Oh yeah, just a happy holiday to everybody. Good eating, be safe, and go Penn State.
There we go.
Let's get it done.
All right, Yaacov?
Yeah, I just thank all you guys. You know, great time. I enjoyed getting to know everybody, and you know, enjoy the family. You know, get some rest. You know, get that TV ready for Saturday.
Yeah. All right, big dude.
Well, again, just the show, as you said, has been a blessing. It's been a blessing to be in better health this year. As some of you may know, like I said, I had struggled with it in one particular year. But just good to be in good health and be blessed. And let's go Lions.
All right, man. I'm thankful for you too, buddy. I appreciate all of you, and thank you all. You know, we're not all done yet, folks. We have next week this time we'll be talking about hopefully a win over Michigan State. So hopefully everybody is sub. But I want to thank everybody for joining us on behalf of Dan, Eric, Yaacov, and Stefan. My name's Skip Rouse. Thanks for joining Line Live. We'll see you here next week again, folks. Travel safe. You're going to be out there. Stay safe with all you do, and Lord bless. We'll see you next week. Have a good night.
We are.
Penn State.
Penn State.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Have a good